Hi guys! It just started right now, actually, Lucy Love. Woo. This is my new leopard gecko, and he's pretty fast, as you can see. So we're actually naming him over on Instagram, and you can vote for his name. I took suggestions this last week. I just got him. Whoa, 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 whoa. He's pretty new, so as you can see, he's not quite used to being held yet. So we just got him, and we're taking names over on Instagram this week, and now it's down to 3 names, so you can go over to Instagram and vote for his name. It's between Cyrus, Draco, and Nico. That's what it's between right now. You are not happy right now, are you? Alright, I'm going to let him go back. He is fast. Okay. I got this box so that he can kind of like stay in there while we're chatting. The Instagram, if you want to vote for his name, is happytails _ Meghan. Sorry. Whoa. Okay, let me put him to the side and try to fix this. I'm actually right now having to charge my iPad while we do this, so I have to like have it connected to the wall. Should have probably remembered to charge it before. Okay, and then I will be taking some questions from you guys as well, and then I also have the winner for the t-shirt, which I had talked to you guys about that last time I did a live video, is that we're going to do a giveaway since we have Happy Tails t-shirts now. So that is somebody from Instagram, and it is, okay, so there's an underscore in between each letter, but the winner is EBONITE. And I'll also put that up on Instagram after this video. I'll put up a picture of the person that won, so you guys can check that out. And in case that person's not being able to watch the live video right now. Okay, so, oh, you're from Patreon. Hi. Well, speaking of Patreon, we're naming the new baby alpaca. So we finally got another alpaca. They take so long to have a baby. It's supposed to be 11 months for an alpaca, you know, till they give birth once they get pregnant. But this last one that we had, her pregnancy was 385 days, so that's way over a year. And there's might still be more, but we don't know for sure, so we just have to wait, keep waiting. But so far we have 2 baby alpacas. And let me see if I can find some questions to start taking, because last time it was so hard to read all of the comments that you guys were sending in. So I actually got my phone to try to see some of the comments. Oh, where did I get my chinchilla? Lisandra Lopez. I got one of my chinchillas from a breeder, and then I got another one of my chinchillas as a rescue. The white one is actually the one I got as a rescue, so that was just kind of lucky, because usually it's hard to get such nice colors, you know. Oftentimes people are giving away the gray chinchillas because they, you know, just don't want them anymore. And let's see. What other questions do you guys have? I'm trying to find one. Do you have a parakeet? Yes, I do have 3 parakeets, and there is a care video on parakeets in the care videos playlist. And then there's also a parrot playlist as well, so you can learn how to feed them and all of that. Let's see. What else is there? I'm getting a hedgehog from Alexa. That's awesome. Be sure to watch all of my hedgehog videos. I have a rabbit and she doesn't get along with other rabbits, but she likes my dog as a friend. What should I do? With rabbits, it's kind of tricky. You should probably just let her choose her friends, because they sometimes don't get along with other rabbits, but as long as, you know, they have someone else to be social with, that's perfectly fine. My rabbit was alone by herself. That was a rabbit I had even before I started YouTube. Her name was Rosie, and her friend was Petunia. She got along really well with her. Hello, Berry. Hello. You have food all over your face again. Do you want to say hi? Laura Jane, I'm from England. Well, hello from all the way over there. How can you clean a guinea pig from Phoenix? Well, usually you can just pretty much wipe them down with a towel. Usually guinea pigs don't really need a bath, but you can give them a bath. And I'm actually planning on doing a video on that, so hopefully I get to that soon. What do you do if you want a guinea pig? The first thing you should do if you want any pet is to do research on it. And I can tell when someone hasn't done research on a pet when they're talking about a social pet and they say they want one of them. So guinea pigs can never live by themselves. You have to get at least 2. So always start by doing research if you think that you want a pet. Because you might not want it after all. Like if it's hard to take care of, or if there are certain things you can't do for it, you might not be able to have that pet. So always do research first. How big do hedgehogs get? I think they get to be about like 3 pounds. They're not very big animals. Hedgehogs, pet hedgehogs in captivity are pretty small. The alpaca has a 70s afro. I'm trying to make all of my alpacas have bobble heads. So when I get them sheared, I don't get their head sheared. Is it normal for guinea pigs to bite? Mine do. Anything with a mouth bites. Humans can bite. Anything that has a mouth can bite. It's totally normal for any animal to bite. Usually guinea pigs don't bite. But the other thing I say about that too is that it matters how you hold them. If you hold a guinea pig the right way, it shouldn't really be able to bite you because they aren't, what do you call it, like very flexible. Prairie dogs are very hard to hold in a way which they cannot reach you to bite you. But guinea pigs, you can easily move your hands out of the way. And sometimes they nibble on you just because they're like, hey, is that food? And you're like, no, that's my hand. Is it hard caring for so many animals, or is it easy? Well, it kind of depends on the person. I don't consider it difficult to care for all my animals, but I know that most people would find it very difficult. Most people find it very difficult to take care of fewer animals. So to me, it's not difficult, but I do realize that it is not a lifestyle for everybody. Let's see, trying to look for some questions here. What is your favorite part about having so many animals? I love interacting with all of them. Of course, you have to care for them and feed them and, take care of all of their needs. But my favorite part is definitely just being able to interact with them and get bitten by you. And it's just nice being able to see them, even if it's animals that you can't interact with. I have certain types of animals that aren't for handling, but they're so wonderful to look at. Will I be doing more horse videos? I'm the same person from Patreon again. Oh, hi, Jenny. Yes, I will be doing more horse videos. With the trip and everything, our vacation that we had planned this summer, I found it a little bit hard to film outside just because filming outside takes me a lot longer. I have to be aware of all the noises and trying to get the video done right. But I do want to do some horse videos this summer. I like doing videos outside when it's nice and green, and I don't really like filming outside during the winter. But if you have any suggestions as to what type of horse videos you would like to see, Jenny, please let me know. On Instagram, though, because here, once I upload this video after it's live, I won't be able to actually see the comments. So just let me know that you're Jenny and give me some ideas of what type of horse videos you want to see. My favorite dog breed. Oh, it sounds like you haven't been watching too many of my videos, because I think everybody knows what my favorite dog breed is. Let's see. Do you have crested geckos? Yes, I have crested geckos, and I have care videos on them. I want to get a hedgehog, but should I put a divider in the tank? Not quite sure what you mean by that. Why would you need to divide the tank? Are you trying to put more than one hedgehog in there? Because they shouldn't be housed with more than one. Oh, this thing just refreshed on me. Do I still have rats? Yes, I do still have 3 rats. Laura's getting very, very old. She's not doing too well. I'm actually just surprised she's even still alive at this point. But she's still eating and she's still active, so I'm not going to have her euthanized just because she's old. So as long as she's not in pain, then we're still going to be taking care of her. The other 2, Joan and Stella, are also getting kind of old, but they don't look as worn down as Laura does. And those are pretty much the only rats that I'll be having. I don't think I'm going to get any more, just because it is hard to deal with the health issues that rats have. And I know a lot of people have still been asking me to do more rat videos, but you should really go over to RatGirl44. Her videos are excellent. I probably won't be doing more rat videos in the future, and once mine die from old age, I don't think I'll be getting any, for now, at least. My corgi's still not knowing where to go to the bathroom. How do I fix that? Well, have you been training him? Crate training is the easiest way to get a dog to go to the bathroom in the correct place. So that's really important, is to, do crate training if he still hasn't gotten the hang of that. How do you keep predators away from rabbits? This is a funny comment just because I noticed that for some people it's, more difficult. A lot of times people that are from the UK are telling me like, oh, you can't have your rabbits outside, they're going to get eaten by a fox. We don't have foxes over here, so that's not something we have to worry about. If you do have predators that you need to worry about, then you should definitely make sure that they're in a secure area. If they are outdoors, it's, important to have really good fencing, things like that, or to try to keep them closer to the house where a predator might not want to, get close to. I cannot handle my hamster. What do I do? Observe it and enjoy it, and just, enjoy looking at it. Not all animals are for handling. Some hamsters just are not comfortable with it. Some hamsters are. It's, really up to them. I've had hamsters that are really just for viewing, and then I've had hamsters that love to be pet. The one I have right now is Peach, and he's kind of in between. Some days he doesn't want to do it, and other days he's perfectly fine with being picked up and cuddled. What kind of horse do you have? Rainbow is a Mustang. How are the cats doing? I'm a big cat lover from New York City. My cats are doing really good. Thank you for asking. What is your favorite type of gecko? That's hard. I just love geckos. I think geckos are actually my favorite type of reptile in general. So it's hard because day geckos are so beautiful. I think those are one of the prettiest ones. But then you can't handle them. So then, like crested geckos are really neat. But they don't, come in those bright green colors that the other ones come in. And then leopard geckos come in like so many different morphs, so I have no idea. I like all of them. How long can cockatiels live? Because mine's 24. That's pretty good. That's an old age for a cockatiel. Usually like 20 is about the average age for cockatiels. I know some do live longer, so it sounds like you really took care of yours. Have I ever had mice? Yes, I've had fancy mice and I've had Egyptian spiny back mice. And I'd say I'd prefer those to rats. I think that they're very easy to handle, and in my personal experience, they don't have as many health issues and complications. Do I have chickens? Yes, and I post pictures of them on Instagram. Could a cat hurt a rat through a cage? Depends. If they can get their paw through the bars, they can definitely hurt them. Or if the rat goes up to the bars and the cat's close enough and then, you know, reaches out with its claws, it could get him that way as well. You definitely want to make sure that your cat isn't harassing your rats. Help for someone wanting to train their own service dog. I'm an experienced trainer, but this will be my first service dog. Well, if you're an experienced dog trainer, I think you should be able to do most of it. Usually people want to consult with a trainer when they are training their own service dog. But if you already are one, I guess, you know, you'd be the one doing it. So just, you know, make sure, though, that they are very, very well behaved in public. Public access rights are the most important thing when it comes to service dogs, and if yours doesn't have good, you know, public behavior, then you're making all of us look bad. Okay, another one from Jenny. I'd like to see some videos on how to help a horse lose weight, what you feed Rainbow, and how to bond with a horse. Okay, that's a good topic. Definitely a good topic, doing gaining weight and losing weight for horses. That's with my horse, that's not an issue we've had since she's a Mustang. She does really well with just staying very fit on not a lot of food. But that's definitely something we could talk about in a future video. What is my bearded dragon's favorite vegetable or fruit? His favorite fruit is apples. You can always get him to eat apples. And what is the best height size for a peacock enclosure if you can't let them roam free? Where's the best place to buy peacock eggs or chicks? I really couldn't tell you where the best place to buy peacocks is. I don't really know of anywhere that sells them, like, even off the top of my head. As far as the size of enclosure, I did a peacock care video, and that can be found in the care video playlist. And then I did go on vacation recently. It was kind of funny because just this morning I got a comment on the All My Pets video, someone saying like, oh, this is cool, but you could never go out of town. And I'm like, I just went to California for an entire week. And so that's what I wrote. I was like, yeah, I just actually went on vacation. So it is possible. It's always possible to go on vacation when you have pets. And I actually wanted to see if anybody had any questions about, you know, VidCon. I went to VidCon recently, went to California. So if you guys have any questions about VidCon or about my trip or about how we managed to go on vacation with the animals, you know, as far as who takes care of them and stuff, just let me know down in the comments. I'll try to get to some of those questions. Somebody, Danielle Rodriguez, wrote a comment with a lot of little faces. Have you ever had degus? I have never had degus. I don't know why, I'm just like not interested in them. And are hamsters good for kids? Yeah, they're pretty good pets for kids. I put them in the video where I recommend pets for kids. Are you getting any more pets? Sometimes I do, but I don't really, like, plan it. Like, I just got the leopard gecko, and that one, I did want a leopard gecko. Like, I've been wanting one, but I didn't have it planned out, like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, go and buy one. I just kind of had been waiting to see if I saw one that I liked, and then I thought maybe I could get one like at a reptile expo, but then all of a sudden I saw this one here locally, and it was so pretty. I just loved how yellow and orange it is. Do you have a snake? Of course I have a snake. Haven't you watched the All My Pets video? And Jasper, he's so cute. Let's see. How many reptiles do you have? Well, we recently lost my chameleon to old age, so we don't have her anymore, but we have 2 crested geckos, 2 day geckos, a snake, two bearded dragons, and a new leopard gecko. And how to adopt a dog online. Well, you can do so, actually there's a petfinder.com. You can even type in like the type of breeds and age you're looking for, and then they'll show you the list of available dogs closest to you. And that's a good way to look for a dog online. Am I getting any more hedgehogs? Well, I have 2 hedgehogs right now, so I don't really plan on getting more than that. What breeds of snakes do you have? My snake is a ball python, and he's a banana ball python, so he's really pretty. How old am I? I'm 25. How many hermit crabs do you have? I actually don't have hermit crabs. I needed to move them to a larger enclosure, and one of my friends had actually set up a really big hermit crab enclosure. So we moved them all over to there. The hermit crabs I had actually just taken in because people didn't want them anymore. I never had the intention of, I want to own hermit crabs, I'm going to set up a whole little hermit crab thing. No, it was more of like, people were like, oh, I'm going to throw this hermit crab away, or you can take it. So obviously I took it. And I had a couple of them. I had 3, and I had a really nice enclosure for them, which you can actually find the video to that here. But they actually went to a bigger enclosure, somebody who wanted to adopt them, so that was good. Let's see, more. Oh, come here. Will they ship dogs to us? No, they will not ship dogs to you. And it's not a good idea to try to get a dog shipped to you. And if you are interested in adopting, that means you need to go to them. Berry. Do you have a pig? Of course I have a pig. The smartest dog breed is actually a border collie. They are extremely smart. There's one border collie that knew over 1,000 words. So they're very, very smart. Let's see, what else? Do I live in Texas? Yes. What do you feed crested geckos? Well, please watch the crested gecko care video. That has all of the answers. Let's see. What is the oldest pet I own right now? I think that's probably Rainbow. She's about 22 or 23. And then Plata is 20. She'll be 21 this fall. Is it normal for dogs to lick leather? Well, leather, you know, was animal, so it probably tastes good to your dog. feel like these are not... I'm reading questions that I already answered. I wonder if this is not coming in right. How many guinea pigs do you have? I have 2 guinea pigs. No, your dog should not drink milk. It doesn't matter what breed your dog is. Don't let your dog drink milk. Do your birds fly away from you? Mine does. My birds fly all over the house, so sometimes they land on my head and sometimes they fly away from me. They kind of just do what they want. My bearded dragon doesn't eat fruits or veggies. What should I do? What have you tried feeding your bearded dragon? Is it the same thing every day, or do you try different things? Do you try to feed him vegetables right after he's eaten insects? Those are all important factors to consider. How old are my guinea pigs? My guinea pigs are actually getting kind of older now. I think they're like 4 or 5. Oh, how was VidCon? Did you get someone to pet sit? Yes, someone came over and took care of the pets twice a day. And VidCon was actually really amazing. It was so much fun. It was worth the tickets. The tickets were actually kind of expensive, and then of course it's like the trip to go over there, but it was really worth it, and I think that anybody that's serious about YouTube should definitely go to that. And of course it's even great for people who just like to watch YouTube. If you're close enough to it and you can go, it's a lot of fun, and they do have a lot of stuff for people who just enjoy watching videos. You get to go to a lot of meet and greets, Q&As with like your favorite YouTubers, and there's just really so much to do. They had this one station where you could like make your own donut, and there were all of these like little unicorn donuts and panda donuts. It was so cute. Probably wouldn't want to eat it after that though. Let's see. I've been getting a lot of questions about how to take care of certain types of animals and how to feed certain types of animals. It's really, really easy to find this information on my channel. You just go to my YouTube channel, you click on the button that says Playlists, and all the videos are organized, really easy to see. There's playlists just for each species, like guinea pig videos, chinchilla videos, prairie dog videos, and then there's a button that's also, one of the playlists is care videos. So just click on that button and you can see all of the animals that I've made care videos for. So that's also a great way to find the information you're looking for. Let's see. Trying to look through the troll comments as well. These are so hard to read. I wish they'd make them easier to read somehow. What is a recommended breed for the guinea pig for a first-time owner? Basically anything that's not a skinny pig you should be fine with. There's not any difference. It's just the skinny pigs need to be kept warmer than the ones that do have hair. But there's, other than the way they look, like the way the hair looks, there's no difference between guinea pigs. Let's see. There's a slow chat setting. Where do I find that? What size tank should you get for a ball python? I think they should be kept in at least like a 40-gallon. I think smaller than that really isn't good. I know some people recommend like a 20-gallon for ball pythons, or really small little tubs, but that's actually really frustrating. It's that these people think that ball pythons live in a small little space. And it's true that in the wild they find these small little burrows and tunnels that they live in, But that doesn't mean they don't come out of there. Like, if they have to go out to look for food. Their food's not going to go into that little tunnel, you know, just serve themselves. So, while snakes do live in small, you know, little places in the wild, they do go out, they get a lot of exercise, they, you know, go around on the floor at night. And so the snake should be able to have room to do that. And so a tub doesn't give them that opportunity. It would be like getting our guinea pigs and then saying that they like to live in these small little wooden houses, so that's where you should keep them. You shouldn't give them a bigger space than that. So it's, you know, that's how it goes with ball pythons, is just because that's where it sleeps doesn't mean that it's never going to come out of there. Let's see. How long can a bearded dragon go without human care? Well, why would you leave your bearded dragon without human care? I don't think you should have pets and then, you know, say, oh, how long can I go with leaving it, you know, till it dies? That's really not a good, it's not a good idea for pet owners to be trying to leave their pets like that. Just, if you can't care for an animal, you should always give it up to an adoption agency. If you are like, oh, how many days can I go without having to check on this animal? You probably shouldn't have an animal. Maybe it's not the right time in your life. Maybe you're really busy. I know people do make mistakes sometimes with making that commitment to an animal. And it is better to send that animal to a rescue than to just let that animal die or suffer because the care is so bad. So if you ever, you know, have those thoughts, just think if maybe you shouldn't have a pet at this moment. My sister wants a rabbit and I want a guinea pig. Can they live together? Absolutely not. Rabbits are much bigger, much stronger than guinea pigs. And a guinea pig needs to live with another guinea pig. Nothing else makes up for that, not putting it with a rabbit or anything else. Rabbits can really, really hurt guinea pigs. They should not live together, so definitely get different cages and get friends for each of those pets. Any advice on getting your parents to let you get a guinea pig, or let you get guinea pigs? There's a video of there's a video on my channel of how to convince your parents to get you a pet, so definitely check that out. Maybe it will help you. Barry's playing a lot right now. Do you recommend fleece bedding for guinea pigs? Personally, I don't like fleece bedding for guinea pigs. I know it works for a lot of people. It doesn't work for me. I just don't like it. I like aspen for guinea pigs, but either one is fine. It just really depends on what works for you. Let's see. What other comments do we have here? Do you ever go on vacation? Who cares for your pets? Okay, you guys remember I was actually just talking about this. I just got back from my vacation a few days ago. I went to California for a week. And definitely follow me on Instagram because I post up a lot of stuff like about that. I feel like most people's comments could be answered if they followed me on Instagram. Because I post all day long on Instagram, really. Oh, hi, Barry. I use fleece. It's awesome. I personally don't like bedding for them. That's true. A lot of people prefer fleece. I just don't like it for guinea pigs. I do use it for hedgehogs. Really, really like it for hedgehogs. I'm getting a mouse. Should I get two? It is better to get 2 mice. Just make sure that, you know, they're not a boy and a girl, because they'll have babies and then you'll have like 20 in a month. Which small parrot or parrot is best for a beginner? A lot of people think that parrots are better for beginners because they're small parrots, but they have just as much parrot in them as a macaw. They're extremely smart parrots. They're really just need a lot of attention, a lot of toys, the same food. You can't just give them just seeds. The parrot I recommend, you know, for somebody who doesn't want such a big commitment, are budgies or parakeets. And by parakeets, I'm talking about budgies, basically. There's a classification of parrots that are small, and they're called parakeets. And then there's budgies that are in that classification, but depending on where you're from is, you know, what people call it. So there's, you know, people over in the UK usually refer to them as budgies, but in the United States, they're usually called parakeets, even though that's a classification, but they're referring just to one species. So parakeets are a little bit easier. They need to have their fresh food as well as their seeds, so don't feed them just seeds. Make sure you watch my parakeet care video. They still need toys and all of that, but they are smaller. They're not as demanding as a large parrot, whereas like parrots can be just as demanding as large parrots, even though they are small. Do crested geckos absolutely need live insects? Yes, crested geckos absolutely need live insects. I know that there's people that are putting out information on crested geckos saying that they only need the formula, like Pangea or something like that. But that's not healthy, and there is a significant difference in the way that they develop, you know, if you're comparing crested geckos that are fed live food regularly to crested geckos that are just on formula food. There's a significant difference on the way that they develop. And a lot of times people want to say, oh, they're easy, all you have to do is feed them this, and insects are just candy to them. That's not true. And the reason that we know this to not be true is just by observing the animal in the wild. Whenever you have questions about, is this the right care for this animal, you should really look up what they're like in the wild, how they live, what their behavior is, what they're eating. And in the wild, crested geckos are eating insects. That's an important part of their diet. They do also eat sap and nectar and things like that. That's also important, but it's not like they're not getting live insects in the wild. Every opportunity that they have to get an insect, they're going to take that opportunity. So they need both. And let's see what else. How do you keep your crickets? Do they bother you? I find crickets to be one of the grossest insects ever. I don't like crickets. I don't mind like a wild cricket that's in the house that's chirping away. I know that the noise bothers some people. I don't mind that, and I don't mind wild crickets outside. But keeping crickets in a container, I just think that they're so gross. And it's mostly because of the way that crickets are. Crickets will eat each other. They have a pretty short lifespan. It's like 6 weeks. So if you have a large reptile, by the time the cricket's 5 weeks, they're finally, you know, big enough to feed to your reptile. But then a week later, you know, if you're not able to feed them quick enough, they all die and they just stink so bad. So yeah, crickets do bother me. But luckily for me, I have a separate place to keep insects if I need to keep them for my reptiles. So if I put in an order for a box of, you know, 1,000 or 2,000 crickets, they're not in my house. So I'm really lucky for that, because like I couldn't keep the crickets in the house like that. I don't like the way they smell. I don't like the behavior that they have. What I actually like is the dubia roaches. I know some people are like, oh, roaches, they're so gross. They're not. Like, dubia roaches are clean, they're easy to take care of, they can't get out. Like, they're not like the roaches that we have wild that like infest people's home. They can't get out of the box, so you just, you know, keep them in this container. They don't smell bad, they're quiet, They don't eat each other, and they're so easy to keep. So I really prefer keeping the dubia roaches. Okay, looking for more comments. Actually, let's check on Instagram and see what we're naming the gecko. So the new leopard gecko that I got, the names are between Cyrus, Draco, and Nico, and we already have like 50 comments. Let's see, I think Nico's winning. Oh, I don't know. It's really between Nico and Cyrus right now. But I think Nico is definitely in the lead. Do you guys like that name? Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be Nico. I'm seeing so many more comments with that. We're also naming one of the new baby alpacas. Like you guys had seen in a previous video, is that we were expecting some baby alpacas. The first baby we named Gypsy Rose. She's so cute. Then this little one that we just got, it's a boy, and we're taking name suggestions on Patreon. So on Patreon, it's just $1 a month commitment to be part of naming the animals. And I try to not leave it just for that. Like, for example, we're naming the leopard gecko on Instagram right now, and that's open to everyone. But to try to, reserve some stuff just for Patreon users, we're naming the alpaca there. We also named some of the other birds and stuff on Patreon. So there it is, $1 a month to be a part of that. And then there's other tiers as well. It's a $5 a month commitment to be a part of a more exclusive Facebook group where it's all fans of Happy Tales. I'm able to communicate there with you guys more. It's really hard for me to answer direct messages or even comments sometimes because I get so many. But the Facebook group is supposed to be more trying to focus on helping people with their pets. I do pet consultations, but not everybody can afford that. So it's the $5 a month commitment on Patreon where you get to talk to me, you get to talk to other experienced pet owners. So that was pretty cool. And then there's other ones, of course. You get discounts to my merchandise store and other things like that, just depending on how much you put on Patreon. But I put the Naming the Animals one because I think that's like the most fun one as the lowest tier, which is just $1 a month. So you guys can check that one out. And for Instagram, I think somebody was asking, Instagram is at happytales_Meghan. And I think I'm going to have to be signing off soon, but let's try to answer some comments answer a few more questions before I have to sign off. Okay. What's a good temporary cage for a new ferret that is affordable? I did a Living World cage on setup on my channel a few months ago. I would check that one out. It's not an ideal ferret cage, but if you don't have a lot of room, it's definitely something that you could use and just, let your ferret out a lot to get exercise when they're awake. So it's a cage that you could definitely use. Can you do a video on insects or how you feed them to reptiles? That's a really good topic. It's a video I've actually been meaning to make. I want to try to get a bunch of different types of feeder insects for that video, so I'll definitely try to get that out soon. I think it would definitely help a lot of people, and not just if you have reptiles. There's lots of small animals that you should use live insects for, such as hedgehogs, possums, sugar gliders, even rats eat insects sometimes, so I'll try to do that one. Midwest and CNC cages. Recommending those cages. This is actually a comment I do get a little bit frustrated with. The Living World cage that I did in my video is the exact same size as the Midwest cage. I've gotten so many comments on that video of people telling me that's too small, like how dare you keep your guinea pigs in there, you need to move them to the Midwest cage. And it's like, okay, if your issue is the size of the cage, why do you want me to move it to the Midwest cage? The Midwest is the same size as the Living World cage. And maybe it's because they don't realize that the Living World cage comes in different sizes. The size that I got is the one that is the exact same size as the Midwest cage. CNC cages are fine. The reason I don't have the Midwest cage is I think that it's really flimsy. Some people like it. I just don't, and I prefer the Living World cage because I think it's a lot sturdier. If you have other animals like dogs or cats or animals that don't get along with your guinea pigs, then the Living World cage is much better because a dog could easily get into the Midwest cage, whereas the Living World cage would keep your animals a lot safer. Now, you usually don't want to rely on the cage to keep those animals separated, but if something happened where a door got left open or anything like that, you want a cage that your animals are going to be safe in. And that's actually one of the comments I do get a lot sometimes is I'll be doing a video where I'm like showing an animal and I'm like, oh, look at this, you know, leopard gecko I got or something like that. And then somebody comments on the video and they say, oh, your cage is so small. Why is your cage so small? And I'm like, the cage wasn't in the video. I did the last year when I did the All My Pets video, I had a betta fish back then, and he passed away from old age. But when I filmed him in the All My Pets video, I zoomed the camera in on the fish, and it was, you know, really close to him because I wanted it to capture all of his beautiful colors. And I got so many comments of like, why are you keeping that fish in a glass, and how dare you, they need a 5-gallon tank. And I was like, how do you know what it's in? Like, are you claiming to be psychic? Do you think you have hidden cameras in my house? Or what exactly makes you think that you know how big the cage is for this animal? Because when you're doing a video on YouTube, it's you can't tell what something actually is, how big something actually is. If the camera zoomed in, or even if it's not, it can just be hard to get the perspective of, you know, how many feet is this? How tall is this? And it's okay to just ask, and I wish people would do that, is to just ask. I even got some comments earlier, some people accusing me of my hamster's cage being really small, and I've never shown my hamster cage in a video. So it's like, if you have an issue or if you have a concern, you don't need to make an accusation. It's okay to just ask. Just be like, hey, how big is your hamster cage? Would you mind doing a cage tour of it? And, you know, YouTubers are probably going to respond better to that. Just like, oh yeah, I'll try to do a cage tour for you. I do cage tours on my channel, so I don't have one of every single cage, but I do make 2 videos a week, and I, you know, try to fit in as much as possible. But I do try to do the requests that I get. So, you know, just asking instead of making accusations, especially when you've never seen the animal's cage. That would be nice. It would be nice if people would just ask how big the Living World cage is. Let's see. Face reveal. My face is like in every video. Do you know how to make a chinchilla stop biting? Yes, you move your hand away from your chinchilla when it tries to bite you. That's how. Any tips for a hamster? Yes, check out my hamster playlist. There's a food video, there's a care video. And let's see what else. Trying to go through these comments. Do I like spotted pythons? I like any snake, but ball pythons I think are my favorite. I also like sand boas. I think that they're neat. Might get one in the future. But then it's hard because it's like I want more ball python morphs. Can I do a video on day geckos? Yes. I'm actually going to be doing a tank set up for day geckos in the future sometime, because I'm going to be moving my day geckos into a much larger terrarium. But I'll also try to do a care video on them as well. Female crested geckos hollow eggs. Okay, I think what they meant by that is, do female crested geckos lay eggs? They do. They do lay eggs without a mate. They're, of course, just not fertilized. I have male geckos, so luckily that's not something I have to worry about. It's hard having female reptiles. It's something that I kind of want to try to avoid in the future. And a lot of comments asking how many animals I have. You can actually watch the All My Pets video. If you click on my channel, it's the first video at the top. So for anybody that wants to see what type of animals I have and how many I have. How many horses do I have again? I have one horse. Her name's Rainbow. She's a Mustang, and she's in the video I just mentioned. And she lives with like 6 other horses. So that's another one I get a lot, is a lot of people accusing me of keeping my horse alone, even though she's a social animal. But she's not alone. And how to make 2 dogs from different breeds bond. That's kind of hard, just because it really depends on the dogs. If they're young, it's usually pretty easy. You can just have them together. All of my dogs get along perfectly well, but if you have a dog that's very aggressive, it may be very difficult to introduce them to another dog. So if you do have that problem, I would say you need to work with a trainer and try to do some obedience training with the aggressive dog, and then try to introduce it to your other dog. And do I speak Spanish? Yes, I do speak Spanish. You're going to get a hamster in a week? Well, definitely check out my hamster playlist. Okay, so just to go over a few more things. The t-shirt winner was on Instagram. It's at and then an underscore in between every letter, okay? EBONITE. That was the winner for the t-shirt. So if you're watching or see this later on Instagram, be sure to message me what shirt size you need and which shirt you want. And don't forget to check out Patreon to name the baby alpaca. We need some really good name suggestions, so if you have any, be sure to go over there. And let's see what we decided to name the leopard gecko. I'm going to try to go over these comments one more time. Okay, we got 66 comments on this. And it's really between Nico and Cyrus. We got a lot more votes for Cyrus right now. So I'm going to go ahead and count these once I end this video, and then I will let you know on Instagram what his name was. And besides that, I guess, just don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And my Instagram is at happytails_Meghan. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!